got to tell you though, for anyone who has experienced 9/11 for themselves, I got to tell you, just through the emotion of things and living the actual experience myself, I have found that I was easily guided in the direction of what was intended for that day. And if it was the essential, if the whole meaning of that day, from the intention of it, if I was to orchestrate anything, if I was even behind all that good stuff, if the intention was to portray fear and negativity and even hatred and division and separation, well, that pretty much did the job within itself. It did the job because I was one of those very people who was very afraid, fearful, angry, and divided. And I would have to say that for the most part, there was a small inkling of me that said, whatever what was portrayed to us is the illusion, right? And why did I even think of that? Okay, well, the one thing about this broadcast, which is episode number 9 out of a whole series of independent creation nation on Periscope here, is that it is not to create controversy, but to provide more of clarity, but also to reiterate the power that we all possess in choosing, and then refocusing the concentration of energy from that of the irrelevant to the more pertinent and significant portion of our lives. And the thing that I mean about that is that we have to stray away from the automaticity of things, okay, the fight and flight of things, okay. I'm not going to get into the controversial. There's really no particular reason to do so, not in these times, especially when it comes to the whole ideology of awakening and improving upon the landscape of awareness and consciousness. Okay, for those who are not in the know, this might sound very confusing and very puzzling, as if I was talking in code. But for the most part, this may not even be for you. Okay, if you're questioning the content of what I'm talking about, the fact of the matter is, this might be for the people who are in the know. Okay, and it provides a sense of validation, the self-empowerment to ignite the reason of why you are leading or spearheading a particular movement of sorts. So I would have to say that for the most part, this is for you, okay? For the awakeners, for the trailblazers, for the leaders of movements, and when I say movement, in the many sort of ways of things, I'm talking about a peaceful and truth-revealing movement that is made to increase the awareness and the evolution of consciousness. Okay, and again, for the people in the know, this is something that we talk about all the time. So what I'm basically talking about is even with popular media, or even with news broadcasts per se, there is a significant amount of negativity that's out there. Okay, and for people who know me, I am one for which the popular media in itself, there's an intention, and it's a more or less of a derogatory type of intention that I choose not to even feed into. Okay, we must look at everything as energy, first of all, and we must also make parallels to analogies of, such as the the symbolism and the paradigm of a flame, of a fire. Okay, in order to start a flame, to start a fire, you would have to spark it up through intention. Okay, and in order for that flame to continue on burning, okay, and whatever situation or whatever location of the matter of things, as far as we focus as focusing energy, we have to essentially maintain that flame. Okay, and the way that we maintain that flame is either giving it more light, more fuel, more focus, and more wind. Okay, more paper, more wood. But we're essentially feeding into that flame in order for that flame to continue to live. And that's number 2 out of the 3 elements for manifesting and continuing to manifest a particular anything. Okay? And the third element is the emotion, away from the feeling, away from the intention or the spark. So the emotion, which is the behavior, to emote a particular behavior as if to care and to continue to manifest and to allow the flame to self-sustain itself in order to continue its growth. And so the same thing holds true for anything when negativity comes our way. When negativity comes our way, you have to acknowledge the fact that it is negative, and then to not respond to that negativity at all, to perhaps be as more neutral in fashion as possible. And when we become more neutral in fashion, we neither activate the ego of things, but more or less we become more conscious and aware of a heart-centered type of consciousness, to where we don't feed into the energies of that negativity. We don't basically react or respond to that negativity negatively. Okay? And the thing of the matter is, we have been doing this for such a long time, unconsciously. Okay? And this is what is referred to as the state of automaticity, to where we automatically act in that way, where we respond to the negatively, and we do so subconsciously without even thinking about it. But to tell you the truth, ultimately, it is not 100% all of our fault. We've been societally conditioned to react in that particular way to many conditions and events within all of our lives. Okay? But once we are able to be aware of how we react to certain stimuli, in this case, the negative things, then we can start to realize that we have a power that we can basically and essentially and lucratively become a participant of that change and that awareness of things. So today is 9/11, and however long that has been since the anniversary or the very initiation of 9/11, for whatever perspective you take 9/11 as being, okay, it's an anniversary of sorts, which should be, in my opinion, be taken in a way to prompt us to become in that state of awareness, of heightening and evolution of things, to where we can prompt ourselves to not be in that state of automaticity. So I celebrate this day and realizing the awakening once more. And I've been talking about awakening, global awakening, evolution, and the revolution of that awakening from within inside of ourselves, for the most part. And I've been talking about this for the last 8 episodes, or at least intonating this so-called awakening. And this is a sense of self-empowerment. Once we are to realize the power that we do have to choose to concentrate our energies to something that is more lucrative, more self-sustaining, more evolutionary in nature, and revolutionary to the point where we can create a movement for change, a positive change, a good, sustaining, and abundant change of love and goodness and justice and truth, transparency. Okay? So again, I like to keep it nice and short and sweet, and to basically complete this with a caveat, with a takeaway for my listeners out there. Okay? I just want to tell you this, that there is something that is going on once more in the landscape of our awareness and in our consciousness of things. That, again, we do have this acknowledgement of self that is rising, okay, virally throughout the landscape. And we cannot stop this, okay? We just can't. But, again, once you start to walk through that door of an acknowledgement of the evolutionary of consciousness, of a heightened sense of awareness, there's no turning back, okay? That's just the universal laws of things. And one of these times we will be talking about the universal laws of how everything figures itself out within what we cannot see, beyond what is matter, okay, which is essentially the 91 to 92% of total reality, okay. And so with that said, thank you so much, dear listeners, for bearing with me with all of this theoretical, philosophical constructs that I'm just busting out with and putting out there to everyone's awareness. So thank you so much. I'm just laying on my bed, just figured that I should periscope and scope out the power that we do have in remembrance of 9/11, the true meaning of why it had happened, and to what we can do in response to the truest nature of acknowledging and figuring out the capacity that we have to self-empower and to evolve from where we have been. Okay? So thank you so much. This is Joel Ayala, Ayapana, author of the book of Positive Light, Remembrance of the Heart, CEO and founder of Real Revolution Radio. And you can go and check out the website. We are launching in December 2015, December 5th. We do have a new sponsor, and that is the author of her book, Kept Woman. And her name is Robin Boyd, and she's going to be a significant portion of this whole movement for change, as she herself is going to be a podcaster herself on our Inspiring Network. So once again, please catch us and visit our website so you can catch a little feel as to what this movement and evolutionary change that we're trying to promote here within the Cleveland metropolitan area as the model and the template for which other communities can follow. So thank you so much. Once again, love you all. God bless you. Namaste, Satnam, and Lakesh, Vida Kocho. God bless everyone. Love you.